What lies did your parents tell you that you only found out the truth about in adulthood? My parents raised me on a steady diet of lies based on the idea that I'd have to eventually learn that everyone lies, and it was their responsibility to calibrate my BS detector. So when I was just shy of 6, my dad Frank and I were rummaging through a box of old junk in our garage on a Saturday afternoon. Among the rusty tools and forgotten Christmas decorations, I found this strange object wedged between some newspapers. I now know it was a malformed oyster shell. Definitely not the kind you'd get served at a restaurant, but worth keeping if you found it on a beach somewhere. The thing looked exactly like a grotesque ear, except it was sand-worn and weathered on the outside and had this eerie pearlescent sheen on the inside that caught the light. Frank picked it up, turned it over in his hands a few times, and said with this completely straight face, "Oh wow, you found it. That's an elf ear." He handed it to me like it was the most natural thing in the world. "You can have it if you want it." I was thrilled. An actual elf ear? This was the coolest thing that had ever happened to me. I clutched it in my small hands, examining every curve and ridge, imagining the magical creature it must have belonged to. I spent the next 2 hours asking Frank questions about elves while we finished cleaning out the garage, and he answered each one with elaborate detail that I now realize he was making up on the spot. On the drive home, about 10 minutes from our house, Frank suddenly slapped his forehead like he'd just remembered something important. "Oh, yeah, almost forgot. The elf is still looking for that ear. He was really mad I took it. If he finds you, he'll kill you for your ears as replacement. Don't worry, though. He can only track you while you sleep. That's why I only take short naps during the day." Whew. It will sure be good to finally get a full night's sleep. The blood drained from my face. "Take it back, Dad. Please." "No way. I've been trying to find someone who wanted it for a long time. I was glad to hear you liked it. It's yours now. No backsies." He kept his eyes on the road, completely calm, like he'd just told me we were having chicken for dinner. I didn't really sleep for 3 days. I'd drift off from pure exhaustion, then jolt awake in a panic, convinced I'd heard something in my room. Every creak of the house settling, every branch scratching against my window, every shadow was the vengeful elf coming for my ears. I tried staying awake by pinching myself, splashing water on my face, anything to avoid falling asleep and becoming trackable. My mom Lisa found out on the 3rd night when she drilled Frank about why I kept falling asleep at the dinner table, and immediately waking up screaming, "No!" at the top of my lungs. She made me explain what was wrong, and when I told her about the elf ear through exhausted tears, she went absolutely ballistic on Frank. She stormed into the living room where he was watching TV and just unloaded on him. I could hear her yelling about how I was 6 years old and didn't need to be terrified of imaginary elves. Frank tried to defend his parenting philosophy about teaching me critical thinking, but Lisa wasn't having it. She made him come to my room, tell me the truth about it being just a weird shell, and apologize for scaring me. He sat on the edge of my bed and admitted there was no elf. It was just a deformed oyster shell he'd found at the beach years ago. No magic, no tracking, no ear-stealing revenge. I finally slept that night, a deep, dreamless sleep that lasted 12 hours. Frank still maintains to this day that his methods taught me valuable life lessons about questioning what people tell me. And honestly, he might be right, because I never believed another word that came out of his mouth without evidence.